So this will be the last of the homework videos, and then I'll start recording your twin. It's Friday. It's after 3 o'clock. It's 3:10. Obviously, I love you, right? Or I wouldn't be doing this. So this says find all solutions real and complex by factoring. So what I see is something squared minus something squared. I see a 4x squared take away a 25 times a 4x squared plus 25, because I know how something squared minus something squared factors. Factors is a minus b times a plus b. But wait, there's more. This piece will factor. It is 2x minus 5, and it is also 2x plus 5. This piece is done. Now we get to use our zero product property. It does say find all solutions real and complex. So that one right there would tell me that x is 5/2. And I know I'm saving room on paper here. You set it equal to 0, you add 5 divided by 2. That one would say negative 5/2. And this one's going to take more work, because when you set it equal to 0 and you do your subtraction, you're going to have a negative number, which isn't really an issue. You're going to still have to do division. Now you have x squared is negative 25/4, and the opposite of squaring has been square rooting forever. The square root of negative 25 isn't real. It's plus or minus 5i, and the square root of 4 is 2. So you got 5/2, negative 5/2, and then you got the conjugates, positive 5i over 2 and negative 5i over 2. Complex conjugates. 5/2 and negative 5/2 are actually conjugates too. 40 going to be another one of these. 81t to the 8th minus 256. I'm not very nice, am I? I'm really not. That is also something squared minus something squared. That is 9t to the 4th squared, take away 16 squared. So let's see what happens. 9t to the 4th minus 16 times 9t to the 4th plus 16, still equal to 0. This one factors some more. That's 3t squared minus 4 times 3t squared plus 4. And this is as far as it goes. Unless you're really good. Actually, I am good, so I'm going to take it a step farther. Maybe you'll understand this. If you take the root of 3 and you square it, you get 3. This actually factors kind of funkily as the root of 3t minus 2 times the root of 3t plus 2. That's a lot of t's that look like pluses in there, isn't it? And then we've got the remaining factors. 3t squared plus 4, 9t to the 4th plus 16. So this is root 3t minus 2. We make that t capital. Minus 2 is 0. That would be that root 3t is 2. I would divide by the root of 3. I would clean that up, and I'd get 2 root 3 over 3. There's one of them. This is going to be its conjugate. If that one got a positive 2 root 3 over 3, this one's going to get a negative 2 root 3 over 3. Just going to start my little blocks here. There's 2 of them. 3t squared plus 4, not going to factor, it's going to be imaginary. Jump a couple of steps ahead. T squared is negative 4/3. I take my square root. I get t is plus or minus 2i over root 3. I clean up. T is plus or minus 2i root 3 over 3. 2 more answers. Remember, I'm supposed to have 8 of these things, right? Okay, moving on with my life. 9t to the 4th plus 16. 9t to the 4th must be negative 16. This one's going to be kind of interesting. I don't believe it can actually be answered. I'm trying to think how to answer it. If I divide by 9, I'd have t to the fourth is negative 16 ninths. And the opposite of the fourth power is the fourth root. I'm really trying to think of how I can get down to this. I don't know that I can. As far as I think you can actually take this one would be to take the square root of both sides, which would get you that t squared is going to be plus or minus 4i over 3. And the issue is, what do you do with that? That's the issue. You'd have to take the square root of an imaginary number. Actually, is that even that big a deal? Is it a big deal? No, it's not. You still can. I've just never even bothered trying to do this before. I would have that t squared is, remember I is the root of negative 1, isn't it? I believe it is. That's what I is. So t is, that's kind of interesting. It just doesn't feel right. I have serious issues with taking this farther. I'm going to stop. That is something I need to look at. I've never seen anybody do it any farther than that. The reason I have issues is because when I plug in root negative 1, I get right back to negative 16, root of negative 16. I'm going to go with it. I should stop. I'm not going to. The root of 4i is the root of, this will be the root of 4 times I, which is the root of negative 1. That's where I'm having an issue. We got stuff inside. I don't think you can take the root of 4i. You can't. This is where you stop. It's as far as you can get. There's two really imaginary answers in there. I'm actually going to have to look that up. It might be something I don't know. I've never tried to take it farther than that because that's just gibberish. It really is. All right, write the equation in the parabola below shown using the vertex form y is a times x minus h squared plus k. So if I glance at my graph, I notice that my vertex is at negative 3, negative 10. I can also kind of determine real quick that my initial slope, my a value, is 1. See how you rise one or run one? So that's easy. So my form has to be y is an understood 1 times x plus 3 squared, take away 10. And I'll move on with my life. 42, write the standard form of this one. And you're supposed to use it in intercept form. Y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. Do not worry about putting the equation into standard form. I wish it didn't say that, but it does. So I'm losing this form. I'll write it down so you can see what's going on. All right, so here's an x-intercept right there. That's p, and p is negative 3. Here's another one right there, and that's p is negative 1. The a value, by the way, is literally to rise one or run one. So it's y equals 1 times x minus a negative 3, which is plus 3, times x minus a negative 1, which is plus 1. That's how hard that thing was. Pretty easy, isn't it? 43, write the equation of the parabola below in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. And to do this, since I don't know the vertex, I'm going to have to use a times x minus b times x minus q. The notes got cut off there. It is an inequality. Notice the shading and the dashing. But we're going to start off, I guess we can throw the inequality symbol in there if we want. It's going to be y is less than or equal to, sorry, not less than or equal to, just less than, a times x plus 2 times x minus 3. Now to get it in standard form, you have to know what a is. And I'm not sure that it's 1. So I'm going to take this point right here and I'm going to plug it in. I'm also going to switch over momentarily to the equal to symbol. Y is 12 when x is 0. That'll give me that 12 is a negative 6a, and my a value is actually negative 2. So now I can go back to inequality form. Y is less than negative 2 times x plus 2 times x minus 3. And if the good Lord saw this, he would FOIL it out. X times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is minus 3x. 2 times x plus 2x. 2 times negative 3 minus 6. Little cleanup operation. We'll have x squared minus x minus 6. Distribute my negative 2 in now. Y is less than negative 2x squared plus 2x plus 12. There she is in STD form. Last page of the homework. Tree at Coach K's house is 18 foot tall and 12 foot wide at its base. Make it a pine tree. They're easy to draw. Remember, that's 12 foot. It's 18 foot tall. Assume the vandalist is 2 foot away from the tree when starting his throw, and the roll will land 2 foot on the other side of the tree and clear the tree's height by 1 foot. So if the tree is 18 foot tall and we clear it by 1 foot, that's going to put me at 19 foot in height. That's a y value, by the way, because y goes up. We're going to put the vandalist at the origin, 0, 0. And he's 2 foot from the tree. The tree is 12 foot wide, and the toilet paper roll lands 2 foot away. I believe that's 16 foot. So that's the ordered pair 16, 0. If this is 16, the middle would be 8. There's my parabola. Write an equation. You have a vertex, a perfectly good vertex right there. I personally would use y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Then you just plug stuff at it, throw things at it. You can find everything but a very easily. It'd be x minus 8 squared plus 19. You can plug in either 0, 0 or 16, 0. It won't matter. I'm going to plug in 0, 0 because I can't screw that up easily. Subtract 19. Negative 19 is 64a. And my a value is negative 19/64. So now I have my equation. My equation is y equals negative 19/64 of x minus 8 squared plus 19. There she is in her beautiful form. All right, find the equation of a parabola in standard form that has the following x-intercepts 2, 0, 5, 0 and contains the point 0, 30 using your TID4. So you're going to click on Stat, you're going to click Edit, you're going to put your x's into list 1, your y's into list 2, and then you're going to do a quadratic regression. It's actually a pretty easy thing to do. Your TI-84 can do quadratic regression if you have 3 points. So stat edit, the x's were 2, 5, 0. Oops. And then the corresponding y's were 0, 0, 30. Stat calc quadratic regression number 5. Scroll on down to calculate. And there you go. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Plug crap in. You get y equals 3x squared minus 21x plus 30. The correlation coefficient is 1, which means it's a perfect correlation. Find the equation of a parabola that has a vertex at 0, 3 and crosses the x-axis at 7, 0. Leave it in vertex form. Okay, so what we have here is we have a vertex and then we have given points. Starting off, we're plugging into a times x minus h squared, so a times x minus 0 squared plus 3, which cleans up, like x take away 0 is just x, so this is ax squared plus 3. Now I have this point. Everywhere I see x, I'm 7. Everywhere I see y, I'm 0. 0 equals a times a 7 squared plus a 3. Subtract 3, square a 7, divide by 49. A is negative 3/49. So in vertex form, I am y equals negative 3/49 of an x squared plus a 3. Done. Just leave in vertex form. Find the equation of a parabola that has a vertex at 3, negative 1, a y-intercept of 0, negative 8. Leave it in vertex form again. So it's just the same as I just did. Plug some crap in. Y equals a times x minus 3 squared minus 1. You got x and y right there. Negative 8 is a times 0 minus 3 squared minus 1. If I add 1 to negative 8, I get negative 7. If I square 3, I get 9. Divide that 9 out, and a is negative 7/9. Finish the equation. Y is a negative 7/9 of x minus 3 squared, take away 1. And the last one that I have to do is to freehand graph twice x minus 1 squared plus 3. It says you must show your table and you must draw your axis of symmetry. All right, so my vertex is going to be at 1, 3, smack dab in the middle. There's my vertex. To the right one, rise 3. I'm just going to use initial slope. May as well. I add 2. If I subtract 1, I'd be at 0, and I still have to add 2. And trust me, that works. If you plug a 0 in here, this becomes 1 when you square it. 2 times 1 is 1, add 3, 5. So 0, 5, 2, 5. Axis of symmetry, smack down the middle. There's my little parabola. Thank God I am done with y'all's homework assignment. Are you?